resume is a heavyweight, yeah. Put it on my back, give me everything, yeah. I need everything, I need all of everything, yeah.
This is the FeiyuTech AK4500. Okay, horse. Why did Scarface call people a horse? This is a beast of a gimbal. Not everybody's into gimbals, but if you are, there's a pretty good chance you're gonna like this one. Lately I've been into smaller gimbals for the channel and vlogging, but when it's time for professional paid work, I need a big dog on deck with me. And this big dog right here might have just taken over as the alpha male in the dog yard. How is there a spider web on this? I put it down for 5 minutes, that means there's a spider in here. I was just using this. It's fresh out the box. There's a spider in here. FeiyuTech hit me up and asked me if I wanted to check out their new product. I said, sure, why not? And just so you guys know, there is no paid sponsorship here. I was not paid to do this video. I was not paid to say any of this. Everything that I say in this video are my exact feelings on this gimbal right here. You're not gonna buy my opinion, and if you are, it's gonna cost you a pretty penny. So really, they just sent me the gimbal and they want to know my thoughts on it. They gave me no instructions on what to say, and if they did, I would have turned them down. Now with that being said, I really like this thing. And so far to date, not that I have this huge history with gimbals, but probably used and owned about 6 or 7 of them. This is the best gimbal I've used so far. You know, if you're putting aside like size and weight and stuff like that, because really that's, you know, that's all preference. It's, if you're looking for a smaller gimbal, then of course you're gonna like a smaller gimbal. If you're looking for a bigger workhorse, then you would like something like this. First up, I really like the touchscreen on this. I don't know why somebody hasn't done this sooner, but there is a nice, good sized touchscreen right here. One thing I would suggest, one small little thing that I don't like about this gimbal, on the touchscreen, the icons are big, right? But they don't all have words under them. It's kind of, it makes it a little tough to know exactly what you're pushing unless you just have it memorized from having pushed it in the past. So whatever selection you make on the touchscreen, you know, different modes and stuff like that, some of it, I would like to see them update it and just simplify it a little bit more and, you know, keep the same icon, just maybe shrink it 1/4 inch and then, you know, throw some kind of title underneath it. Don't get me wrong, in no way, shape, or form is this anywhere near a deal breaker. It's just a little gripe because I really couldn't find too many things that I didn't like with this gimbal. The touchscreen itself is very smooth, very fluid. It almost feels like a small little smartphone display. Now the Bluetooth handle is very cool. I like this thing, I like its functionality. It's almost like a video game. Like when you play a video game for the first time, you know if you like it or not, but you also kind of have to learn the controls and learn what buttons do what, and your brain has to kind of take over and learn everything to the point where you can do it without thinking. And I think this is kind of like the same thing because it involves movement. I mean, you can control everything right from here just like you can on the actual gimbal itself. You have your joystick, you have your record button, you have your shutter button, you have your power, your mode button, you have your follow focus wheel which doubles and you could program to do things like roll and tilt. But then you could actually hold down the trigger on the back and as you move it, the gimbal moves and it follows your movement. I would think that once you use it enough and you learn the sensitivity and the motion to it, that you could probably find out some cool ways to use it. I know that I've had fun with it and I could see myself using it, especially for anybody out there that has done any type of real estate work before. You know, bathrooms suck to film, especially small little half baths. You got to try to make all these rooms look as wide as humanly possible and as big as possible. And when you're in a tiny little bathroom or a tiny half bath, man, you have to get in the room, which in turn takes up even more space that you couldn't afford to lose in the first place. So what you could actually do in a situation like that is you could set the gimbal in the corner as far back as humanly possible, make the room look as wide as you possibly can, and then you could stand right outside the room, out of shot, out of frame, and can control it with this. That's great. That's definitely going to be a big way that I use it, because I find myself in those situations almost every single house. I walk into a tiny little bathroom with a sink and a toilet bowl and nothing else, and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. How the hell am I going to shoot this? How am I going to shoot this? On top of that, how am I going to shoot this without winding up in the reflection in the mirror? You could see everything in one spot in this tiny little bathroom. Next thing I like is a quick release on top of the quick release. Yeah, you heard that right. So if you see right here, this is the quick release plate that you could slide in and out, but then there is another section for another quick release plate. Boom, and now it's in there. I always keep a quick release plate on top of my gimbal so that I can switch it from tripod to gimbal without having to readjust the gimbal itself. And now they just solved that problem for me, so there you go. I'm good with that. I got nothing else to say about that. Quick release plates are awesome. This has 2 of them, and it makes it double awesome. Now, I know the Vortex, the barrel roll, the Matrix, whatever you want to call it, you know, it's whatever. Some people like it, some people don't. I think it actually looks cool. I don't use it too often myself, but when I see it in videos, and the 1 or 2 times that I have done it in a video, I think it looks pretty cool. Again, even though it's somewhat played, whatever, man. If you like it, you like it. Don't let other people's opinions lead you to not do anything. And bottom line is, the AK4500 does the barrel roll better than any gimbal I've ever used, and there's a great reason why. There's a setting in here for that mode specifically. So you tap it, and the gimbal turns upward, automatically perfectly centered in flashlight mode, so you don't have to sit there and fiddle with the joystick and line it up just right, because you know if you don't line it up just right, that perfect circle is going to turn into a wobbling flat tire. So this points upwards for you, and then on this beautiful little touchscreen right here, it has 4 options. It's really 2 options. Each option can roll either left or right, so they put 4 settings, but it's really 2 options. You can either do one complete full barrel roll, and it's a perfect roll, and it winds up perfectly level. That's another problem I've had before when trying to do it. You do it, and then you want it to stop right side up perfectly level, and you always either undershoot or overshoot. The AK4500 doesn't do that. It rolls it one time perfectly, and then it lands straight level, and you get a great shot. Or you have another setting where you could hit it and it'll just infinite roll, and it'll just keep going until you stop it and hit it again. The times that I do use it, believe it or not, are actually pointing upwards. I think if you shoot real estate video, here's a little tip, and somebody has like a nice chandelier or a nice ceiling fan or something like that up on the ceiling, you point it upwards, and then you start rolling it, and then you zoom up and then back down onto the light itself, and you can kind of maybe do a speed ramp, and then it, you know, it looks good. Nice little technique, and it looks great. Next up is a little feature that most new gimbals are starting to incorporate now, and for me, it's an absolute must-have, and that is locking the axes. I don't say axes, it's too much out of my way. I don't got time for it. I'm just gonna say axis because it's easier to say. Axes, I gotta stretch that E. This accent don't work well with axes. So you can lock all the axes, every single one. You see how sturdy that is? Which means when you put it in a bag or when you're just carrying it, it ain't gonna flop around and possibly do damage to the motors in this thing. So every single gimbal from this point moving forward needs to have the capability to lock all the axes. All right, let's talk about the feel in the hands. How does it feel? Feels really good, especially for a big gimbal. It feels really, really good. The grip is nice. It's really soft. It's comfortable to hold. The whole time I was holding it, I had no problem with it. It's very smooth, and surprisingly, this thing weighs nowhere near as much as it looks like it weighs. It's actually just about a full pound lighter than the DJI Ronin S, which is actually a little smaller than this. 1 pound might not seem like a lot, but when you're dealing with camera gear and carrying it around, and especially gimbals, every single ounce matters. I mean, really, there's no weight to this thing. It's not like, it's a little overboard for vlogging. It's just a little big, a little heavy for vlogging. I think if you took off this bar, let's try it right now. Let's see. I mean, granted, the Weeble Lab still has the tripod legs on it. Let's take those off too. This thing is pretty lightweight. It's still a little big to vlog. I personally wouldn't vlog with this. Not that it's a knock, but you know, these bigger gimbals, they're not made for that. You wanna vlog, you get something smaller. As far as comfortability and weight and just ease of use, this thing feels good. So size, weight, and feel, very comfortable, good to go. A-okay. Some other specs are the payload is about 10 pounds for this, so put a lot of weight on there. FeiyuTech has said that there is a new smart chip inside of this gimbal, and what it does is, instead of, have you ever balanced the gimbal or used the gimbal and then you put it on a table, or even while you're using it, it vibrates and it shakes and it starts kind of rattling on you for no reason? Sometimes it's really bad, sometimes it's just a little bit. If you don't know why that happens, it's because the power settings on your gimbal are either set too high or too low for whatever camera setup you have on it. And what FeiyuTech is saying is that they have a new smart chip in there, so that instead of having to go in and manually adjust the power settings for the gimbal every time you switch to a new setup, it kind of learns and it feels out the weight of your setup and it stops it from shaking. And I didn't do any adjustments to the power settings on this whatsoever. All I did was balance out the A6400 and turned it on, and I was wondering if I was going to get a little bit of vibration because it's such a strong gimbal and such a lightweight setup, and I didn't. It was just super smooth. So seems like they're telling the truth on that. That's pretty damn cool. You get 12 hours of battery life on this, and on the gimbal itself you have the same wheel that you have on the Bluetooth handle, and it works the same way. You can customize it to control movements of your gimbal, and that's great. And you also use it for the follow focus wheel, which FeiyuTech did send me. I don't really use it because I have a great camera with great autofocus capabilities, but if you don't need to use it, like I don't need to use it, the wheel don't go to waste. You could just program it to do something else. When I need a strong workhorse for paid gigs and paid clients, professional jobs, as of right now, this is my new workhorse. This is my new go-to powerhouse gimbal for professional jobs. I want to thank FeiyuTech for sending me this machine. I will be putting it to use. Thank you very much. You did good, kid. You did all right, kid. You did all right. If you are at all interested in picking up the new FeiyuTech AK4500, make sure you use the link in the description and enter the promo code TEM. You get yourself a nice little discount there. What are your thoughts on the FeiyuTech AK4500 and gimbals in general? We've seen a lot of releases from a lot of different companies lately, and I don't know about you, but releases make me excited. You ain't gotta buy them, but it's good that they're releasing them. Keeps them competitive with each other. They gotta keep upping their game. And FeiyuTech upped their game this time around. Join the conversation below. Let me know what you think about the whole gimbal craze going on. It's a craze. People are crazy. I don't know. Just talk to me. I just want some friends. Just write whatever you want down below. You don't have to write that. I just want you to write something. I was trying to trick you. If you at all happen to like this video, please do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up button. And if you are not yet subscribed, please do so. I'd appreciate it highly. There's the Instagram. Join it. Follow me. Oh crap, I turned it on. I hope you guys like this video. I also hope... Oh boy. Kobe, you're nasty. I just want to sign off, Kobe. Can I say goodbye to the people? He's drinking so much water. He always does this whenever I film. Any other time, it's like 5 sips. When I film, it's like a half hour. Oh, he choked. All right, that made him stop. Nope, it didn't. All right, never mind. I'll see you guys later. We're just gonna end it. Solo.
Resume is a heavyweight, yeah. Put it on my back, give me everything, yeah. I need everything, I need all of everything.